You've heard of the Pacific Garbage Patch, but do you really know how massive it is? Spoiler, it's way bigger than most people think. Stretching over hundreds of thousands of square miles, this plastic mess is growing fast and silently choking our oceans. In today's video, we break down the shocking size and impact. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and help spread awareness. 1. Bigger than most countries. The Pacific Garbage Patch covers a staggering area larger than many entire countries on Earth. Current estimates place its size between 1.6 and 3.2 million square kilometers in surface spread. To compare, it is about twice the size of Texas, or 3 times the size of France in total area. It is not a solid mass, but a cloudy soup of plastic particles scattered across a massive expanse. This zone lies between Hawaii and California, caught in the circulating North Pacific Gyres loop. Satellite images cannot fully capture its scale due to how dispersed the plastic particles are. This patch grows constantly as more plastic is dumped, washed, or funneled into the vortex. 2. Plastic soup, not a trash island. The term garbage patch can mislead people into picturing a dense, floating island of waste. In reality, it is more like a plastic soup with tiny fragments drifting just beneath the surface. Most of the waste is microplastic bits smaller than a pencil eraser, spread over vast distances. You could sail through parts of it and not see obvious trash, yet still be in the patch's center. Net samples in the area consistently bring up thousands of plastic bits per square kilometer. Floating ropes, ghost nets, crates, and fishing gear do exist, but they are widely scattered. Because the particles are so small, they can stretch across areas larger than visible debris shows. 3. By the numbers. Scientists estimate that the patch contains about 1.8 trillion pieces of plastic waste in total. This includes everything from tiny beads to full fishing nets and massive floating plastic crates. The overall weight of this pollution soup is thought to exceed 80,000 metric tons combined. That is the equivalent weight of over 500 jumbo jets floating endlessly between ocean continents. Roughly 90% of the patch's mass comes from larger items like lost fishing equipment. But over 90% of the total pieces are microplastics, tiny but massive in number count. Each wave breaks larger items into more fragments, making the patch grow in parts, not just size. 4. Invisible to the eye, devastating in effect. You will not see towering piles of garbage here. Most of it floats beneath and blends into the sea. From a distance, the ocean appears calm, but beneath the waves lies a toxic plastic stew. Sunlight and salt water wear plastics down into nearly transparent microshards hard to detect. These fragments float just below the surface, mixing with plankton and other marine organisms. You would need specialized nets and microscopes to truly see the full scope of the damage there. The patch's invisibility has caused many to underestimate or even deny its environmental danger. Yet marine life cannot escape it. Fish, turtles, birds, and whales live among and consume the debris. 5. The role of ocean currents. The Pacific Garbage Patch exists and expands because of the North Pacific subtropical gyre. This is a system of rotating currents that traps floating debris in a slow, endless circular path. It pulls in waste from both Asia and North America, funneling trash from 2 major continents. Once trapped in this current system, plastic is unlikely to escape without human intervention. This gyre covers a massive area and keeps circulating the debris like a conveyor belt of pollution. Currents act like invisible walls, holding plastic in place while pulling in more every year. The plastic that enters can remain there for decades, slowly degrading but never vanishing. 6. 5 zones in 1. Researchers now believe the patch is not a single zone, but 5 separate plastic clusters in one. The center is the densest, where plastic builds up most heavily from surrounding current flow. Surrounding it are zones of medium and light density, where plastic thins out but still circulates. Some parts contain more fishing nets, others more household plastic or industrial pellets. Even biodegradable items like wood and cloth are found tangled among the synthetic materials. This structure complicates cleanup because it is not a circle but an evolving plastic field. Weather patterns, storms, and seasonal shifts move the boundaries and reshape its flow. 7. Plastic's journey to the patch. Plastic in the patch does not appear there overnight. It takes years to reach its final destination. A bottle thrown into a river may drift thousands of miles before entering the Pacific Vortex Zone. Urban runoff, mismanaged waste, and coastal landfills are gateways for plastic into waterways. From there, it follows rivers to estuaries, rides ocean currents, and spirals into the gyre system. This slow migration allows plastic to absorb toxins and degrade into smaller fragments en route. By the time it arrives, it is often barely recognizable as the original product or package. Its long journey means the patch contains plastic from dozens of countries and time periods. 8. Not just a surface problem. Much of the plastic in the Pacific garbage patch floats near the surface, but not all of it does. Waves, sun exposure, and wind help keep lighter plastics buoyant in the upper water column. But heavier plastics or waterlogged items sink below and hover at deeper levels for years. Sampling expeditions have discovered plastics several meters below the ocean's surface layer. Some fragments eventually sink to the seafloor, where they form an underwater layer of pollution. These plastics continue to harm marine life at all levels of the ocean, not just near the top. Some deep-sea creatures consume plastic particles found even in dark, frigid ocean trenches. 9. Why the size keeps growing. Every day, more plastic enters the oceans, and some of it inevitably joins the expanding patch. As global plastic production increases, so does the volume of mismanaged or discarded plastic. Storms, floods, and extreme weather carry more trash from land to sea than ever before. As plastics break into smaller bits, they spread farther and take up more space per volume. This makes the patch grow even without adding new large debris from current pollution sources. Add to that the microfibers from washing machines and plastic dust from tires and shoes. These invisible pollutants enter waterways and eventually join the swirling ocean mass. 10. A wake-up call in the water. The Pacific garbage patch is not just a measurement, it is a message from the ocean itself. It tells us that no coast is safe from the consequences of poor plastic management anymore. Its enormous size shows how quickly pollution scales when convenience overrides sustainability. This is a landmark we created, yet one we cannot visit without confronting global shame. Every plastic item we toss carelessly may one day become part of this planetary monument to waste. But it also tells us that we still have time if we act quickly and decisively to stop its growth. The patch's size is terrifying, but not unchangeable if we treat the cause, not just the symptoms. By reducing plastic use, improving recycling, and funding innovation, we can slow its expansion. The Pacific garbage patch isn't just a floating island. It's a warning sign of what we're doing to the planet. Its true size is a wake-up call for every one of us. Don't forget to like this video, hit subscribe for more environmental insights, and share this with someone who still thinks plastic isn't a problem. The more we know, the better chance we have to turn the tide.